This is for you, Mr. Seven Figures, Mr. Eight, Mr. Nine Figures, who thinks that they can solve their problems with money. You see, money can only solve money problems. It can't solve every other problem. This is for you who thinks that if I keep giving more money away, if I build generational wealth, it's going to fill this hole in your gap. This is for you, Mr. Businessman, that's achieved all his goals that he could achieve with money. He's bought himself the yacht. You've bought yourself the Rolex watch. You've bought yourself the supercar, but you've realized that, I'm only doing this thing now for a higher purpose, a higher goal, for to make myself feel better. This is for you who, even though you are pushing in your business and you're going really, really hard at it, and you know that you're self improving every single day, and you feel that purpose from improving in yourself, but you deep down, you still feel empty. This is for you. This is for you who you've thought about it that, you know what? All of this means nothing. I've chased this all, I've built all this wealth, I've built all these riches, but in the end of it, it all means nothing. I mean, it only takes my child or next generation to take all of this and spoil it all away. This is for you. You're looking for, I'm here to tell you what you're looking for. What you're looking for is you're looking for security in eternity. And that can only be found one way. You see, you are trying to solve an eternal problem with a temporary fix. You think that if you call a street with your last name, or if you set up a wealth structure in a way that it means that your children's children will benefit from it, you think that you've solved eternity, but you haven't. You know money is finite. You know that money will eventually stop. You know that the wealth that you have is not forever. No matter what you do, no matter how many schools that you name after yourself, no matter how many charities that you donate, no matter how much, wealth structure that you put in place, eventually it will all pass. How many rich kings of times past before have tried to put wealth structures together? Where's their wealth now? Nobody knows them. So these things are temporary. You're trying to solve an eternal issue with a temporary finite fix. It won't work. You can only solve eternal issues with it. You can only solve an eternal issue with an eternal problem, with an eternal solution. There's only one way you can solve it. You need an eternal solution. I know what's on your heart. You want to have something for eternity. You want something that you can have security in for the rest of your life. My friend, you can only have that if you solve it with an eternal solution. I speak to entrepreneurs, seven figure, eight figures, and I'll ask them, what are you doing it for? And you have kind of different ranks. The first level, you see, the first level is the guy that's just doing it for security. So they're just doing it because, they were homeless, their transport situation was a joke. They worked a terrible job. That's the first level. They were hungry, they were homeless. That's the first level. Um, these entrepreneurs will only ever see maybe 5 or 6 figures. Some of them will hit 7, but they will never really go past that. The next level of entrepreneurs are those that want security, personal security, because they probably live in a bad area, um, you know, health or well-being. They want to live as long as possible. These entrepreneurs will hit the 7-figure mark, maybe even 8, but it stops right there. Um, and they will try and they're trying to live for as much as possible. They believe if I live in a really nice gated community, they will pursue that goal and they will stay there. But they know that it will only last for as long as they're there. The next set of entrepreneurs are what I call the I'm doing it for my family types, which is great. And you absolutely should be doing things for your family. But you know, it also stops right there. You know, after your second, the statistic shows that all 90, 80, 90, I don't know, I'm getting the statistic wrong, but most wealth goes after the third generation. It doesn't stay after that. Now, you might try and prove me wrong, and you're going to put structures in place and things in place to make sure that it goes past that third generation. But I can almost guarantee you, after the seventh, eighth, ninth generation, it will all go and your wealth will completely disappear. Everything that you worked for the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years, I'm here to tell you right now, it will disappear. I'm here to tell you right now that your last name will be in tatters. Your last name will be, the statistical show, one of your generations will go homeless. One of your generations will be poor. They will just not know how to handle the wealth right. So yes, you're doing it for your family. Yes, you're doing it for your namesake, but think about it. It won't last like that forever. The next set of people are those that are doing it for a higher level, higher meaning. That's my self-development types, my self-improvement types. I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for the love of the game. Not doing it for the money. I'm not doing it for even my family. I'm doing it because I want to see a better version of myself every single day. Great. Fantastic. I love it. That will give you the drive. That will keep you going every single day. That will wake you up every single day. But I promise you right now, it will never make you the best. I want to challenge you right now. It won't make you the best because you understand this. You understand that if the benchmark for your life is you and that better version of you that you're envisioning in your mind, you will only ever, that means you're only ever going off a benchmark that you've envisioned. The only way you can surpass yourself is if you go for a benchmark that even yourself you can't reach. And that benchmark can only come one way. And that leads me to my highest types. The highest type of individual, the highest level of entrepreneur is the individual that has a benchmark that even themselves they never thought that they could ever reach. That benchmark can only come from a place that they can only come from a place that not even they can fathom. In fact, when they have the download of this idea, they think this can't even be from me. It can only come from a higher power. It can only come from a higher source. It can only come from someone or somewhere or something that is not of this world. You can't compete with that person. You can't get, and you see now, and you know that where it's coming from is somewhere that it's eternal. Now that's something that you should be striving for. Something that you know that this thing, this idea that I'm getting, it's an eternal idea. That I'm getting this from a place that I could never have thought of for myself. You understand? Mr. Seven Figures, Mr. Eight Figures, Mr. Millionaire, Mr. Multi-Millionaire. I know you're chasing. And I'm not even talking to the guy that you chase the million, then you chase 10, then you chase 20, then you chase 30. No, forget you. You're not even there yet. You're still chasing. You're still chasing, Mr. I've chased 10K, I've chased 100K. You're still chasing. I'm talking to the guy that's reached the money. They know that it's not all about the money, but now you're trying to solve that issue with other things. And I'm here to tell you that those things can't work because you're trying to solve an eternal issue with a temporary fix. Just want to give you some food for thought. I want you to ponder on what I'm saying. And some of you might be asking, what is that solution? I don't just want to say it right now, right here. I want people to keep watching.